Food security is an ideal prioritized by most nations of the world. This is because the attainment of food security not only enables a country to assert its independent status in the Committee of Nations, since it will no longer be dependent on other nations to feed her citizens, it also strengthens her ability to expend her foreign reserves on productive ventures and initiatives which are critical to national development. Good evening. My name is Chinemerem Joseph, and I welcome you to this edition of You and the Economy. The flagship of the initiatives of the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari in the area of food security for Nigeria is the Agro-processors program, ABP. In the last edition of this program, you learned about what is being done to sustain the gains of the implementation of the program and ramp up its achievements. Today's edition of the program wraps up the focus on the ABP, especially the measures that have been taken to further strengthen it to realize its core mandates. I will be back with you at the end of this concluding episode on sustaining the gains of the Agro-processors program. Happy viewing.
If the CBN governor and the CBN had not embarked on the policies they embarked upon in the Agro-processors program, the story of agriculture in this country would have been a terrible tragedy.
From the granite pyramids to rice pyramids, Nigeria is moving.
We have more than enough rice to consume in Nigeria and even to export to our African neighboring countries.
What we see today is a product of clear-sighted policy by Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari, and careful, diligent execution by institutions of state, in particular the Central Bank of Nigeria.
One of the time-honored ways for boosting output in agriculture, particularly in the cultivation of crops, is the adoption of high-yield seedlings. This is with a view to increasing output per hectare in multiple folds. With assurances that the ultimate goal of certain measures is to achieve an increase in output per hectare, farmers are usually encouraged to participate in intervention programs designed to reinvigorate the agri sector. This is more so as such initiatives, especially the use of high-yielding seedlings, ultimately guarantee increased profit for farmers. To sustain the gains of the Agro-processors program, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has been collaborating with relevant research institutions in the country to develop high-yielding seedlings for the various crops cultivated by stakeholder farmers under the program. With the proven evidence of improved results generated by this initiative, farmers have been better off for it. To further reinforce the commitment of the CBN to investing in the development of high-yield seedlings and encourage more farmers to participate in the ABP, the CBN governor has consistently leveraged on every appropriate forum to reassure stakeholders that the Apex Bank will not relent in that resolve. Here, CBN Governor Mr. Godwin Emefiele offered his assurance again at the commissioning of the Rivers State Cassava Processing Plant in May 2021.
That the Central Bank working with some of our research institutes like the IITA in Ibadan, we have developed varieties of cassava stem that can improve your yield to close to between 35 to 38 tons per hectare. And we will be collaborating and working with you in our rural communities to see how we can make available to you these high-yielding cassava stems that can help improve your yield, improve your income, and improve your lives.
The CBN has not stopped at that. In collaboration with Rice Farmers Association of Nigeria, RIFAN, the Apex Bank has been walking its talk by granting farmers better access to high-yielding seedlings in the implementation of the ABP. These measures have encouraged more smallholder farmers to subscribe to the ABP, thus sustaining the gains of the program.
Before, in a hectare of maybe 1 hectare, we can easily produce maybe 50 to 60 bags of rice. But immediately after the introduction of agro-processor here, with the support we have gotten from the CBN through agro-processor, in 1 hectare we can produce now at least 100 bags of rice.
Like the adoption of high-yielding seeds, the use of fertilizers also boosts yield per hectare in agriculture. No wonder then that part of the strategy for sustaining the gains of the ABP is the provision of fertilizers at affordable prices to smallholder farmers. To boost access to fertilizers while at the same time ensuring that the foreign reserve of the country is not frivolously depleted in the process, the CBN played a key role in the financing of the construction of the largest privately owned fertilizer production plants in the country, the Dangote Fertilizer Plant, located in the Ibejuleki axis of Lagos State. In addition, the federal government, on its part, set up a presidential initiative on fertilizer, which is headed by Governor of Jigawa State, Alhaji Muhammadu Abubakar. The body is tasked with making access to fertilizer easier and cheaper for farmers, particularly the smallholder farmers participating in the ABP.
Dangote's plant is coming on stream. We're going to be working with him as the central bank, look at how we can get those fertilizers quickly to the farmers, and that will also ultimately contribute to input. The more output you get for the farmer, the more better he sells those products and better productivity overall.
One of the challenges that farming contends with globally is adverse weather conditions, which have become more pronounced with climate change. This could manifest in the form of weather extremes such as a drought occasioned by total lack of or inadequate rainfall required to nurture the crops being cultivated on farmlands. The weather extreme may also take the form of uncontrollable flooding, which may sack and devastate farmlands, destroying crops that are under cultivation in the affected farms. Indeed, quite a number of farmers participating in the ABP have suffered setbacks and losses driven by adverse weather conditions. To preclude natural occurrences such as prolonged spells of dry weather and ravaging floods from discouraging farmers from participating in the ABP, the CBN/RIFAN partnership has been encouraging farmers participating in the program to subscribe to insurance cover for the commodities they cultivate on their farms. Not only that, CBN is leveraging on its institutional clout to ensure that insurance firms that provide cover to farmers under the ABP live up to their claims payment obligations whenever the situation arises. The rationale for emphasizing the need for insurance cover for agri-commodities under cultivation is that when farmers are made to have assurance that taking up insurance shall mitigate the losses they may suffer in the event that the worst happened in a cropping season, they will be more willing and inspired to participate in the ABP. The CBN is also working with the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, to enable the agency assist farmers with dissemination of more accurate and reliable weather forecasts which will boost their ability to make informed farming decisions and thus embolden their confidence in the ABP. These two initiatives have proven to be very significant and helpful in strengthening the ABP and enhancing its success.
One of the requirements of the program is insurance. And working with the various associations and the prime anchors, we said, look, insurance must be paid on time, and we will not disburse any loans until we're sure that insurance has been taken. And then at the end, with that confidence, the farmer is ready to go to the farm. I think as a central bank and working with the associations, we've been working also with NIMET to see that there's better forecasting. And then like what happened last year in the southwest, you remember there was 43 days of drought. We want to be able to avoid such instances. So working with the meteorological agency, ensuring that there's insurance cover for the farmers, and ensuring that indeed when the insurance is taken, at the end when there's flood, the farmer has recourse. He's paid back the money.
Regardless of his or her literacy level, the contemporary farmer relies on their mobile telephone handsets to network and drive the success of their vocation. Mobile telephones are often used by farmers to coordinate participation in the activities of cooperative groups, arrange for the delivery of inputs, and also reach out to their customers. However, power disruptions, a common phenomenon in the country, often hamper the ability of farmers in rural areas to use their telephone handsets consistently, as most times they are unable to recharge phone batteries when they run flat. Conscious of the critical roles that access to electricity plays in promoting the success of the ABP, especially amongst rural farmers, the CBN has resolved to make farmers who subscribe to the ABP eligible for the Home Solar Power Program of the federal government, intended to provide electricity to 5 million homes.
The CBN is also positioned to ensure the integration of our farmers into the government's economic sustainability program, aimed at providing 5 million homes with electricity using solar energy. Under this program, every farmer under our Anchor Borrowers program is eligible to get a solar home system that will provide electricity to power their essential home appliances. Repayment of the electricity consumed under this solar home system being provided to our farmers under our Anchor Borrowers program can be paid using the produce from the farm.
Although the focus of its observers and critics is usually centered on the scheme's participating farmers, the reality is that the Anchor Borrowers program is not a monodimensional scheme designed to benefit farmers only. And that much was mentioned in the first episode on the ABP featured on You and the Economy. Indeed, the value chain of the ABP also includes processors and millers of farm produce who are off-takers of the agricultural commodities cultivated by farmers participating in the ABP. This obviously explains why both the CBN and REFAN realize that commitment from processors of farm products is crucial to the success of the program and realization of its key objectives. As a result, some measures have been introduced to further galvanize and sustain the interests of those crucial segments of the value chain of the ABP in the program. One of such initiatives is the Paddy Aggregation Loan. In his address at the unveiling of rice pyramids in Birni Kebbi State, as part of activities held in the first quarter of the year to mark the 5th anniversary of the ABP, Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, spoke on the rationale for this loan scheme.
Just like we have already given the rice farmers the money for the Anchor Borrowers program, we will be disbursing the paddy aggregation loans to those millers that will be picking up their paddy here today. They will use the proceeds of those loans to pay off the rice farmers so farmers can pay down their loans. And as they pick up the paddy to their factories, they will now mill the paddy into rice that will be sold at moderated prices.
The Central Bank of Nigeria is also set to exploit the instrumentality of a significant federal government initiative to sustain the gains of the agro-processors program. Concerned that some of the challenges that plague the agricultural sector and hinder the drive to self-sufficiency in food production arise from the non-existence of a commodities exchange in the country, the Buhari administration has resolved to tackle this anomaly by resuscitating Nigeria's moribund commodities exchange. To enable the ABP benefit from advantages derivable from having a functional commodities exchange, the CBN is collaborating with other stakeholders to bring the federal government initiative into fruition. CBN Governor Mr. Godwin Emefiele shed further light on how this initiative will impact the ABP when he addressed guests at the unveiling of rice pyramids in Kebbi State, an event that took place in the state capital, Birnin Kebbi, in the first quarter of the year.
In support of the growth recorded in this drive to attain self-sufficiency in food production and to moderate prices of agricultural commodities, Mr. President has approved the resuscitation of Nigeria's commodity exchange, and the CBN, in partnership with other stakeholders, will be committing at least 50 billion naira to this initiative. A vibrant commodity exchange will enhance post-harvest handling, guarantee effective pricing for farmers, minimize the adverse effect of middlemen, and ultimately transfer the gains from primary production to other nodes of the value chain. By the time Nigeria's commodity exchange gets fully established, they cannot take up the job of taking over this produce with the liquidity that they have, sell them to final users and off-takers, and by that be able to moderate prices in our country. By that, make it possible for farmers to earn the benefit of their labor, and also make it possible for millers to also enjoy their benefit.
No step could be more significant and reassuring in sustaining the gains of the ABP than ensuring that the laudable program outlives its initiators. The most prominent of the various institutions involved in the conceptualization and implementation of the ABP is the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN. Although it collaborates with other stakeholders in the implementation of the program, the CBN is the hub that propels the ABP. And if the truth be told, the hands-on approach of the CBN Governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, especially his dynamism, uncommon zeal, determination, and single-minded commitment to the success of the program, has helped sustain its achievements. Fears are, however, being expressed by observers that the ABP may suffer from lack of policy continuity, which has been the bane of similar laudable intervention programs introduced in Nigeria in the past to promote food security and price stability. Sadly, many of such initiatives had started well, but eventually petered out and became irrelevant. This has been projected as the fate of the ABP in the event that Mr. Emefiele's successor as CBN Governor does not accord priority to the program. At the strategic level, there are also fears that the gains of the ABP could be scuttled if the administration that succeeds that of President Buhari in 2023 relegates the program to the back burner and becomes less supportive of the CBN in its implementation. The usual lack of policy continuity could therefore potentially scuttle all the gains of the ABP. Yusuf Yila, Director of the Development Finance Department of the CBN, allays such fears.
The Agro-processor program has come home to stay. We're working with the National Assembly to see how we can legislate it. We don't want to truncate it past the life of Governor Emefiele. We're looking at how we can work with the National Assembly to look at how we can continuously support the ABP, not just the ABP, but other agricultural interventions that we have.
Certainly, the Central Bank of Nigeria has not relented on its oars in the implementation of the Agro-processors program. Periodically, and the circumstances and unfolding developments demand, the Apex Bank has been fine-tuning the program to keep it focused and to sustain its game-changing momentum in tackling the challenges it was introduced to address. With the resolute concern it has continued to demonstrate in meeting the expectations of both smallholder farmers and the processors who are off-takers of their farm produce, the Agro-processors program will continue to wax stronger in promoting the drive for self-sufficiency in food production in the country.
You're welcome back. In 3 successive editions of the program, inclusive of this edition, we acquainted you with the crucial information you need to know about the Agro-processors program. You were told why the program was introduced, the modus operandi for its implementation, how its intended target beneficiaries can key into the program, as well as the major achievements of the program. Besides, the measures being taken to sustain the gains of the ABP were explained to you. You heard that the Agro-processors program is sustainable and that efforts are ongoing to ensure that its implementation outlives the respective tenures of its core initiators, that is, the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari and the CBN Governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele. Now, for those of our viewers who have been following the mini-series on the Agro-processors program, we welcome your opinions and comments on the scheme. Similarly, your suggestions on what the Central Bank of Nigeria and the Rice Farmers Association partnership can do to make its implementation even more robust and further consolidate on its gains will be appreciated too. All these can be relayed via the CBN website. It's www.cbn.gov.ng, or you may call the CBN Contact Center on 0700-225-5226 to register your views on the Agro-processors program. And with that, we've come to the end of the comprehensive focus on the Agro-processors program. Don't forget to join us again next week when we examine yet another very important subject that is crucial to the well-being of the Nigerian economy. Until then, it's goodbye for now.